Hey everybody, welcome back. It's been a long time, but the dynamic duo are finally back at it again with another episode of Mir Musk. And today we have one of the most influential artists coming up in the scene right now, Zaya Marz. Everybody give her a hand. It's an honor to have you on, ma'am. It just Tom Myers recommended you to us, and you guys are you guys have a friendship going, or you guys just acquaintances? What's going on with
We're
that?
like online homies. I like met him at his comedy show one time, and like we chat. We stay chatting. He's awesome.
Oh shit. Okay, okay. So how was meeting him in person and everything like that at the comedy show?
It was really spontaneous. My friend Idris just like happened to find him, and then we were like, "Let's go."
Right.
Uh, yeah, and we just like stayed talking, and he's like been supporting my music, which was really nice. Yeah,
Okay, okay. And you have that album that came out, I think was it back during the pandemic, right?
yeah.
How was that going and everything like that? Like how was the response with that? How'd that go for you?
That was cool. I mean, that was my first time, like, realizing I wanted to do music full time, like, um, that project I wrote at a time where, like, I wasn't really, like, getting out there, so it was a lot of, like, isolation and just, like, sitting with myself and my thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
um, and I waited to drop that until I went to school,
Right.
um, and I did pretty well, but I just released my, R&B EP this past week,
Oh shit. Okay.
and
How's
that's
that going?
really good. Yeah, that feels like the most me my music has felt, like, it just, like
More lively, more bubbly.
yeah, but it's also, like, more vulnerable at the same time, so,
Okay.
yeah.
Was that COVID one more like depression kind of vibes going on?
Yeah, I was
Like
just also
lost?
younger, so I
Yeah.
was kinda just like, "I don't know how I feel, but I feel, like, sad."
Right,
Um,
right, right.
versus this is more like, "Damn, I feel like I changed so much of myself for, like, love, and I feel like I don't really feel like myself until I'm, like, loved by somebody, and I'm like, I don't wanna
Oh. Like
you know?
like yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
A lot of
Just kind of like,
soul.
I love
Yeah.
love, but I'm like, you know,
You just
it's
have so much love to give, but sometimes it's not reciprocated, right?
oh, exactly.
Yeah,
Just
especially by the opposite sex, I'm guessing. So,
a little bit of,
yeah, a little bit here and there,
yeah.
We'll get into it later down the show. 'Cause I wanna start off at the beginning, though, like, how did you find music, personally for you, and how did you kinda develop your own sound and all that good shit?
I feel like it mostly started as a coping mechanism. Like, I lost my dad at a young age, and I didn't really know like what I was feeling or how to feel, but music was just always there for me.
Right.
And then it kind of just became like my passion. I don't know. It's just like where I go when I like need a shoulder to cry on or like need to process something.
Right. And
But
I
it's
saw
also just, sorry, what?
No, I'm so sorry, continue. Sorry.
No, it's also just, like, been really fun for me as well, like, a lot of my friends and, like, the connections that I make are through collaborating with other musicians, so it's just been a really cool, like, network of creatives that I've met along the way as well, so it's been really fun.
Right, and I saw, what was it, Mad City by Kendrick was a huge inspiration
Oh,
for you
yeah,
too?
that was, like, the first album where I was like, "Oh my gosh, like, music can tell a story." Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, I love Kendrick.
Where you're doing the music, and Lil Mir was doing the music for a while
Yeah,
too, and
yeah,
he was
boy.
a SoundCloud guy, right?
SoundCloud rapper.
But
Oh.
Yeah.
so I was just seeing your SoundCloud up here and looking at some different stuff. But where, and then you mentioned you linked up with Tom Myers, who's a friend of the show. Where are you based out of right now?
I'm from Brooklyn. I go to
Oh, okay.
school in Boston, but yeah.
Okay, East Coast. Okay, so yeah, that's probably a great scene for, just getting inspiration and culture of like just a
Different
vibe of
nationalities.
people. Well, just a vibe of people who are doing, art and stuff like that in Brooklyn, famously. So that's cool. How you liking it out there?
Well, so I've been in Boston this like past year at school, and it's been different. Past 2 years I've been in Boston. Because I know I want to be in Brooklyn. Like I know that's where I want to end up.
Right, you're a Brooklyn girl, yeah.
Oh yeah, die hard.
Go
But
Nets.
I feel like I wanted to experience something different because I know I'm gonna live there my whole life, and like wanted to see what else is out there.
Right.
But Boston's really good for like when you're in school, there's a really good music scene. Like Berkeley is right there, and then you have like actually so many schools. Like every time I go out and I meet somebody, they're from a different school that I like didn't know existed, and it's like all right there. So I meet a lot of like kids my age who are also creating and making music and stuff. But
I
yeah.
suppose so. Mir's probably he's a lot closer in age to you. I'm a little older, but I suppose probably even proximity is one thing, especially for doing live shows and music. But nowadays, it's like people network probably through the internet more and more. So how are you meeting people to collab or to do things with? Is it more like through social media, or is it like you're finding people out and about at like-minded events or around campuses and stuff like that? Like what's that like these days for college, I guess?
So I know that there's a lot of people that are connecting through social media, and I definitely do find people that way, but like the most people that I've found have just been like at house shows. Like I'll just meet so many people per night. I'm a chatty girl. Like I'm friendly when I see people out and I'm like, yo, what's up? I like your pants. And then we start talking. I'm like,
Right.
hey, like you make music, I make music. And so that always happens like every time I go out. But I transferred schools. So I was at Bates up in Maine. And there weren't like that many creatives and there weren't that many like places to perform. So when I got to BU, when I got to Boston, I was like every time, like actually every weekend I'd go to at least 3 house shows because I was like, oh my God, like creatives, people. And so like
Right.
3 times a weekend I was going to house shows, meeting people, putting my name out there, trying to get on bills. And like for the first year, that was a little bit tough because it's kind
Mm-hmm.
of, with Berkeley, it's very competitive. There's a lot of musicians.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah, by this year I met who's now my best friend Alex at a house show. We made this EP together. So he's my guitar and bass player.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like just meeting people organically really has been best for me.
I got a question for you. So how tough, like, I know that first year of doing music is fucking probably the worst because you're dipping your feet basically into a whole entire ocean of things that could go and happen, within your life. Well, your span of your music career. How tough was it trying to just like navigate all that shit, trying to do shows, get on set lists and whatnot? And then also, did you ever have moments of possibly giving up at certain times?
Mm. It was definitely discouraging to try to be playing live shows and just, like, not really getting responses back or just having people kind of, like, gatekeep.
Yeah.
That was pretty shitty at first, but I feel like I did find my community this year, and, like, the way that I kind of, like, combat that is I try to, like, share my resources with, like, upcoming artists and other people, like, especially other females in the industry. Like, it's really difficult to find other women, especially, like, producers, like, mixers and masters, like, pretty much solely worked with guys in that front. So, like, whenever I get the chance to, like, have an opportunity to work with a girl, like, I will, and I'll, like, like, give her my venues, like, where I know, like, has, like, good turnout and, like, good vibes and stuff like that. So, like, yeah, it's just hard when people gatekeep, and I definitely have felt, like, sad in those moments, but I've never thought about giving up because, I don't know, like, that's just not an option. Like, fuck that.
Well, I would guess like when you're starting out, Mir, it's like
I gave up.
well,
No.
but here's the thing, like so before you've ever had any critical reception of your music and you're working on it, so there's that unknown of like what's gonna happen. Are people gonna like it? Are people gonna hate it? All that type of stuff. Plus,
Right.
there's the learning curve of
Oh
like,
yeah.
well, I got to learn how to use this software. I got to learn how to meet these people. I got to learn how to do all this stuff. So
I got to learn my vocal. Yeah. All that shit.
yeah, and I got to
Hear
got
your
to crack a
sound.
few eggs or make a few mistakes before you learn how to do anything. So,
Right.
but to me, I also think that's probably like in time you'll look back and be like, well, that was like the time where it was like there's the most novelty or new things going on where it was
Yep.
like fun. So it's kind of like probably you want to continue to like like I'm no musician or anything, but you always hear like artists like Yay or like certain people who try to reinvent their sound every album or couple albums. So, and I don't think it's necessarily because they people didn't like what they were doing, but it's like for them, they need to like try to do something new, you know, because that's the chase of like doing something is like more than like
Well,
the product of
right.
making the music, right?
Right. No, I agree with that. Like for me, like doing different sounds, it's just you want to challenge yourself continuously. Like you did an R&B album, R&B album from your depression album you did. That's a totally different sound. I mean, come on. I was reading some of the fucking titles of those songs and I listened to some of it. It's a little sad.
Yeah.
But you switch up your sound though, and it depends on what mood. You can't be writing depressing music when you're not depressed anymore, or else it's not going to be authentic to some extent, and people
True.
can really tell that. And you, as an artist, I'm sure, start to like, do I feel this song? Not really, because when you start performing it more and more live, if you do perform live, do you perform live?
I do, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it's just like you don't really feel it anymore, and people can kind of tell that via off your body language or just you as an artist. So I guess you need that growth to kind of continue and start doing shit like that, but I don't know. It just depends on the artist. I mean, don't fix what's not broken though. Sometimes,
Yeah. I mean,
like Chow saying, like you could agree with that one, right, Chow? Like, don't fix what's not broken. Like, if you're killing it on one sound, then I maybe not go and do into other avenues.
Well, that's the thing. So I think there's a balance to all of it, in my opinion. Like, yeah, you're like you have like if you're Celine Dion or something, you don't want to start doing instrumental albums because it's like
Right.
you were given this great voice or whatever. So you want to you want to play to your strengths, of course. But then part of like being like an artist too would be like you want to try different avenues of like what you're doing. And so yeah, but yeah, I think it goes both ways. But we should ask the true artist here, or the
Yes, you're the one who's
performer.
active as an artist, so you tell us.
I don't know. I feel like for me, like I don't look back on the old stuff that I've made and I'm not like, oh, like this isn't like true to who I am. So like now I need to delete it or like now I need to like not claim it. It's more like,
Right.
oh, like this is how I was feeling at this time and this is how I expressed it. And honestly, I think one of the coolest parts of like my growth as an artist, like getting to look back at the old things I've created and the new stuff that I'm making, like I can see my growth as an artist, but also as a person. I'm like, okay, the way that I felt about this situation has changed over time. Or like the way that I'm handling situations has changed. Like it kind of just feels like a way to like keep track of my emotions and like my growth. So that part is cool. But yeah, for me, like I kind of knew that I wanted to go into R&B. Like I feel like the first project was more indie for sure.
Right.
But that definitely was just kind of like who I was working with. And yeah, I just think my sound's gonna continue to evolve like as I do.
That's awesome. Yeah, I would be curious. I was gonna ask you like your background in like music, like growing up. Like, were you in band when you were in like fifth grade, or were you like a choir? Or did you sing in like your churches? Like, because you always hear like these different stories. Like, I was in the church choir at age 4. Or, like, how is your growth into music, and how to kind of get to where it is now?
How many gospels did you sing?
I was actually not in a choir, believe it or not.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it was kind of more of like an independent thing for me. Like in high school, I did a cappella, but like that wasn't super for me. Like I tried it in college and I was like, no, I think I want to do my own thing. But yeah, it's definitely been more of like an independent thing for me. Like growing up, like I just like was, oh, and this is still true. I'm just like always listening to music. Like I can't
Right.
do like silence. I'm like, what do you mean? We're in a room right now and we're like,
You're in a car. You're like, I can't just listen to the road.
yeah,
I gotta.
exactly. Like there needs to be something on. But yeah, it's definitely become more social for me, and I love that because like now I'm like, oh, like especially for dating and stuff, I'm like, we got to do a Spotify blend. Like I got to see like what our
Oh
percent.
my God!
Like
So you're
I
judging?
won't let you
Do
take
you
me out
judge
on a
people off
date
the
unless
Spotify
we're at
blend,
like
bro?
85. You know what I'm saying? So.
Oh shit! All right. That's what. Go ahead, Chow.
Well, I mean, I think that's good because, like, I think like when to be, because we interviewed a lot of comedians, and we had a guy on recently, and I was asking him like how he got into comedy, and he's like, I was just a huge fan of it. So like you got, like, well, like that's kind of like you got people who are like a natural or whatever. They're born at like with like something, or then there's like like you've got you enjoy it and you're a part of it and you become, you know, like you're an enthusiast of it and a craft or a art or something. And like if you take music important and it's like music is like one of those things too. It's like what is it? Got to be like 95%, 98%, unless you're deaf. Basically, everyone listens to music to some degree, you know, and you can tell a lot about the person based off of like music. And a lot of people, music becomes like an identity to them. They're like, you like that? Well, I don't like you. You like this? Oh, I love you, you know, like that type of thing, you know. So you can kind of tell a lot about like, because it's their personality and it's like they identify with it and all that type of stuff. So I think that's kind of cool. Like that you're like, what is something that what are some of the if you were doing that Spotify match, like what would be something you'd be looking at on someone's list? Be like, all right, maybe we can go on a date or second date or something.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely if they have like Kendrick, Frank Ocean, and then like I don't know, like more niche stuff. Like if they have like there's this guy Q who I'm obsessed with. He's so good. Like I don't know. I can go through my
Empire of the Sun.
Oh, I mean that's like a deep cut, but yeah, like
hey, come on,
yeah,
they're good. They're tough, bro.
they're fire. The Spins, that song is fire.
Yeah. Oh, that Spins. That's fucking Mac Miller, bro.
Yeah,
That's not even. That's
his
barely them. I'm talking about truly Empire
Oh,
State.
yeah,
Empire of the
like,
Sun.
that song is fire, just
Oh God.
saying.
How old are you again?
I'm 22.
Oh my no, yeah, no wonder she like you. No wonder you like the Spins. All right, I get it.
Yeah.
What did you think about Mac Miller? You fuck with Mac Miller at
Oh,
all?
I
Or
love
no?
I love Mac Miller. Yeah, sad. But like sad. Fire music. Yeah, he's definitely in my like top
Top
10.
vibes.
I would say
Do you fuck with the underground at all?
the underground.
Underground of the music scene.
Oh,
Like, I'm talking about like rap and anything like that. Do you fuck with that at all? Or you just stayed more towards alternative rock
I
type
was
of vibe?
definitely I mean, I'm more into like R&B.
Right.
I definitely like grew up a lot listening to rap. Like I'm like deep in like my TikTok right now is like just the Kendrick, Drake, J. Cole thing that's happening.
The Drake
So,
beef, whatever
yeah,
that shit is, right? I know Chow knows more about that than I do.
it's crazy.
Yeah, a little bit. I just know I've always been like a big Drake hater guy. So and I liked some Kendrick. I'm always just mainly a Kanye guy. So and I know
Kanye is a huge influence for me. I don't like talk about it a lot because like now he's kind of like off the rails, but like love Kanye.
Well, yeah, he brought that whole sound of sampling the, you know, the 70s and 80s, the 70s R&B doo-wop stuff into hip hop, you know, in the early 2000s, mid 2000s.
You know who's a really good example of that? Tory Lanez.
Oh yeah.
Tapes 5 is like all samples of 2000 songs, like early like 90 songs. But what's so cool is that he has all of the original artists featured back on their sample tracks, which is so cool. So that's goals for like, I don't know, at some point if I could like be on a track with like an artist whose song I've sampled, like that's just so cool.
Well, I mean, nowadays it's like the way that things work, it's so much different than like even 10 years ago where like you could probably like hit up someone on IG and be like, yo, check out this sample I did with your music. And they'd be like, wow. And then they jump on it. You know, it's like there's not like the tape that there used to be around performers and like quote unquote fans or other, you know, everyone can kind of like there's so much more that can be created throughout it, or like you can make something that blows up on used as like some music on an app or something like TikTok or something, and it's like, oh, then like they'll be like seeing you and you might not even know, you know. So it's like it's a whole different game now than it was like back in the day.
I mean, look what happened with go ahead. I love Mackinnon with Drake on Club Turning Up on a Tuesday, or the fuck that one song was. Like I know I love Mackinnon from the underground scene, you know, he was an underground artist and whatnot, like you are. But once like he just sent some shit to Drake's people, and they're like, they just send it to Drake, and Drake's like, yeah, let me hop on that. It just
Yeah.
depends on the happen chance, you know.
Yeah. No, it's definitely about getting in front of the right ears, and you just like don't know like where that's gonna come from or like who it's gonna be.
Do you try that at all or no? Do you
I
kind of like
mean, for
push your
me,
shit?
definitely more. I've been getting into it a little bit more recently because I feel like with this particular project, there's like some more like sound bites that I feel like work for a TikTok, like the short form stuff. Like I don't like when people write for the algorithm. Like for me,
Yeah.
I'm always gonna write just to express myself, and if it works, cool. Like, but I'm not gonna change my process to like fit into a box. So like TikTok's tough because it rewards that kind of writing. Like it rewards like short form, kind of like repetitive stuff. Like especially like I don't know, just like not necessarily for like the meaning, but more for like the bop. And for me,
Mainstream.
Yeah,
yeah,
no, it's like a meme like type thing. Because I
it's
heard
almost like
something earlier where it was like they were using some type of like meme like language, and it was like just repeating, and you could tell like the song. I had never heard the song, but the song was like perfectly made for like putting over a clip of you like shopping or something. I don't know.
yeah, like you can kind of start to tell when an artist has like molded their craft around like a video form. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
don't like that. Um, but I don't know. For me, I feel like performing live is huge. I got a show next week in Cali. It'll be my first show
Hey, no shit. Where at? We're in Cali. You
in Santa
performing?
Barbara.
Which
Ooh,
venue?
nice.
I have to look into that. I
Oh,
don't remember,
okay.
but it's in a garden.
That's
Oh,
beautiful. A beer
beautiful.
garden.
No.
Hey.
Garden type
But I'm
place.
really excited for that. What is
Well, maybe you can hit up Mir and ask him
Yeah,
because it
I'll pull
seemed
through.
like he went out in LA and it changed his life for the worse.
No, no, it changed me for the best. Trust me, I'm a very great person now. From coming from LA, I've been there very many times. Done a good amount of shows there, and that place does change you for not the worst, but for the better to some
Hey,
extent.
we'll
I'd
see.
say. Yeah. So I got a question with you about shows. So what was it like doing your first show live in front of an audience that wasn't just your friends?
My first show. Probably, I mean, the biggest show that I did was last summer, called Hike to the Mic, and it's a festival. It's my first festival. Um, basically, the premise of it is like you hike up a mountain, and then when you get to the top, there's live music, and it's really cute and fun. It's in Connecticut. But that was crazy because that was like 600 people. That was my biggest crowd for sure. And it just felt really good. I don't know. I feel like I was meant to perform. Like, I love performing. I love singing, and I love people, and so it's just, like, perfect. Like, I just feel like I don't know, and I love attention, so it's just kind of, like, all my favorite things. I'm just like
Right.
yeah. I don't know.
So I got a question also on top of that though. What was your worst performance you ever done, and how was the crowd reaction towards that?
My worst performance.
That you thought was, and the crowd wasn't really vibing with you, and you're like, "Fuck."
I mean, there was more like I had a weird venue where, like, I just didn't know how to, like, lock in because like, it kind of felt haunted, like, there was just, like I'm not gonna name drop because like, we don't have
Yeah,
to do
yeah,
that,
no, we don't do that here.
but, like, weird vibes, like, haunted. I can't explain like, there was, like, a baby doll that had, like, glass eyes, and one of them was cracked from the ceiling, like,
Suicide Boy was just
down.
playing pregame before the fucking show started, and you're like,
I should've. I honestly was so terrified, like, I couldn't lock in because I was just like, "Where am I? Like, this is so scary." Um, but I still, like, gave it my all. I didn't feel like I don't know. It was more like I was just like I felt really weird about, like, being there. Like, it was just, like, out of body. Like, I was just like, "Oh my god, like, is this weird? Like, is this like, why am I here right now? Like, are people judging me? Like, what's happening?" So, that was probably my weirdest,
like
performance.
on live experience doing a show.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So have you ever tried setting up your own shows before or no? with
Uh,
with you setting up the set list and everything like that, getting the DJ, getting the venue to do your own shows, or
Yeah,
no?
I mostly have to do it myself. Like, I'm,
How's that
unsigned
process?
independent artist. It's tough. It is really tough. I feel like I got lucky this year where, like, everybody that it's, like, so weird. It's such a small world, but basically, like, all these people that I was just, like, kind of, like, networking with last year, like, that I'd meet randomly out at house shows, like, they all just happened to be people that I needed to know this year for, like, stuff coming together, like, just, like, gigs falling into my lap kind of thing, like, it just I don't know what it was just, like, the timing was just correct this year, like, everything fell into place, like, me and my friend Alex, like, we finished this EP in, like, less than 2 semesters just because like, everything was just lining up for us, like, gigs and, like, oh, like, studio time locked in, we got it, we recorded at Berkeley, like, that was really cool because like, I don't even go there, like, so that was just really cool that I had access to that. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I forgot what the question was. I just got excited.
No, you're a good sister. You're good.
No, I'm just looking at some of your stuff. I was just looking at some of your stuff online, and so off the bat, you were talking about that Tom Myers, and so are you into like stand up comedy too, or
Um,
just him?
you know where I'm going to see? I'm going to see Pete Davidson, um,
Okay,
this weekend. I, like, haven't really ever, like, gotten into stand-up comedy, but I think I like to laugh, so and I think it's funny, so, I mean, I don't know, like, anything about anything. I don't know that I could. Yeah.
yeah, okay. I was just curious because, yeah, I'd say like, what would you say, Mir? Like probably a third of our guests are like stand up comedians, and then
Either
maybe like 10% have been musicians, and then
then the rest are degenerates or a state
yeah,
senator.
half of them have been like crazy people.
Yeah, or heroin addicts.
Yeah.
It just depends on who you can get.
Mm.
I got a quick question for you, Zaya.
Yeah, hit me.
Yeah, I got it right this time, didn't I? So here's a very and I know as a male, this industry can be very daunting.
Mhm.
You got a lot of creeps, a lot of weird, and I've seen a lot of weirds in the underground scene. As a female, do you get like a lot of artists who want to work with you or who you've worked with at shows and whatnot, or want to collab that kind of try to push? They want to like sleep with you or do any of that weird shit. You know what I'm saying? Because you're young, you're good, you're beautiful, and
Thanks.
no, I got you. It's nothing. I'm just saying, you're beautiful. So, but my thing is, have you ever had that weird shit going on at all?
Yeah, it's definitely tough because like, you can tell when somebody kinda has an agenda, but for me, like, I just get what I want, so, like, I can I can
Oh
figure
yeah,
out, like, if I don't, you know,
you play them. That's
that
perfect, right?
yeah, I'm like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm hot," like, "I know you" whatever, like, "Let's collab," like, "Let me get what I want." But, like, yeah, I don't know, you just kinda have to figure out, like, how to use it's, like, pretty privileged, but it's, like, how to use your, like, almost like subordination, like, as a
Yeah.
form of power. So, like, I don't know, there's definitely, like, not a lot of female energy, like, in,
There's
like
not, no.
yeah, so it's tough, and it's also tough because for me, like, I have thought about, like, learning how to produce so that I don't, like,
Have
need
to
to
rely
need
on someone.
somebody. Yeah,
Yeah.
but honestly, like, because my favorite part of music is collaborating, it's like, I might as well just, like, hone in on what I'm good at, which is, like, songwriting and, like,
Yep.
writing
Just right in your vocals, yeah.
yeah, vocals, and then just, like, have somebody else do that next part.
I
Um,
love that, yeah, because like, for me, when I did music was my buddies were like, "Come on, you gotta start producing your own stuff," and I was like, "No, I kinda like having somebody feed me what they want." Oh, well, how they create a beat or whatever, and I would love to take their perception of music, and then I put my own taste on it, so we have 2 different things coming together that is
yeah,
very unique, so it's just not all me, it's just not all them, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, totally.
you create this totally different, I would say, a product that you couldn't have imagined just making it by yourself because you have somebody else involved with it.
Yeah.
So I
like,
get that. You want to just focus on what you're good at, and at the same time you want somebody else to feed into that, like a producer or a mixer or whatever. Because I don't even mix my own shit because I prefer have somebody else mix in my shit how they think I should sound, and then they even add another artistic idea or thought into it that I couldn't even comprehend because I'm not that person.
exactly. Yeah, because like if that's their thing, like it's like why would I like I'm sure I could learn it and be like mid at it, but it's like if somebody like knows how to do it, it's just like I'm gonna just like let them do it. So I mean, for like music videos and stuff, like I take so like for my major, I'm an English major, but I love film. So I've started to like do like a minor in cinema and media studies. And
Right.
for that, it's like I don't really want to like be a director. I want to just know how to direct a director.
Hmm.
So like learning the vocabulary. So it's like, okay, I don't want to do everything, but I want to be able to communicate better with the people that are doing the stuff that I can't.
Right. Your ideas, you want to communicate them to the director so he can and then he can take his own take on what you're saying.
Yeah. So like I don't know, just like learning vocabulary for like, okay, like this is the camera angle I want. This is how I want to look. Like it's easier to like communicate with people and collaborate with people when like you can kind of meet them halfway.
What are you learning about film that you like, or what are you studying old film or like any like films or movies, or are you just more like technical stuff? What type of stuff you like and that you're learning?
Well, so last year I was taking kind of more like um kind of like humanities based films. So it's like basically like an English class, except instead of writing about books, you write about movies. So your homework is to watch um
So
movies,
I'm
which
just
is
trying
fire.
to. We got someone spamming, so I'm trying to kick
Oh,
them out.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, you got
but
haters.
we got haters?
No,
No.
yeah,
No, it's
no,
someone they're always trolling our show.
yeah.
Okay. Um, but yeah, this semester I took an editing class, so I learned about how to use, what's it called?
Adobe.
Yes, thank you, Adobe.
The premiere.
Yeah, Premiere, and that's been cool, to just, like, know how to do that stuff. Like, it's been good for making, like, short form TikTok as well, like, just, like, knowing how to edit stuff. It's like iMovie, it's pretty like, I
Right.
grew up making iMovies, so it's not that different.
Right.
Yeah, it's well nowadays. Like it's it's gotten to the point where technically like there's so much stuff you can just do on your own if you really want to. Like you guys are saying, like Mir was talking about how like you could be a special. He likes to like collabing with a buddy who makes the beats, and then he does the the other side on over top of it, like the lyrics and the singing and all that type of stuff. But nowadays, like you can do so much stuff with the technology. On your own that like the more of those skills you have, the better off you're going to be, and the more you can kind of control what you want to put out and all that type of stuff. So that's awesome. I mean that'll pair well for especially like with music, although it's like so much of a it's audio, it's music,
Right. Yeah.
but so much of it now is like YouTube or like there's a visual component to it. Like you want to set like a little film or music video to it and all that type of stuff. So
Or an AMV or something. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of tough because I feel like I mean, it's just like you have to be a content creator now to be an artist, which is like, I don't know, it's not really a choice, it's more of like a
A demand.
yeah, but it just so happens that, like, it's 2 of my passions, so, like, for me, I'm like, "Alright," like, I don't have to feel like a phony for, like, creating content, like, I don't wanna feel like I'm selling myself, you know what I mean? Like, I wanna
Mhm.
just have it be, like, an extension of my art. So, like, for my
Right.
music videos, like, I'm like, "Okay, like, this is the message of the song, like, how do I want the visuals to, like, add to that and tell a story?" Versus, like, "Oh, I need to, like, create content." Like, that makes me nauseous. Like, I don't wanna do that. So, it's more of, like, how can I, like, keep up with demands without, like, losing sight of who I am?
no, exactly. And I think it's interesting because nah, I can't remember the name of the movie, but there's this like sci-fi movie that came out, and it was about like this lady who was like became the world's biggest star, but she was like AI or something. This was like in the early like 2000s, so it was before like any AI stuff. It was like, you know, futuristic sci-fi stuff. But and there was some of that for a while where like the music industry like kind of started going to a point where it was like you didn't know if the person who was like the biggest world's biggest pop star was actually singing the music or not, but you knew them as like they were the best looking one on the cover. I'm just thinking like Britney Spears. I'm not trying to like say she was or wasn't a good singer or anything, but you never know. Like there's always that like theory of like, oh, were these guys actually singing or was it someone else? I don't know. So, but then as that like homogenized like sound or like thing happens or whatever, eventually people then are gonna, it goes through cycles. Then everyone wants to get back to like the singer songwriter creator, the person behind it, like the Lady Gaga type thing then became popular, where it was like she was like different and it was like her whole thing was like a certain thing, you know. So I just think it's good, like not like you want to like look forward to like what the trend's gonna be, but the more you can like be authentic and stuff like that, the more autonomy or control or like value or like you'll have in like your whole, I don't even know if you want to call it a career, but like your art basically. So
Yeah, no, totally. That's another thing, like with like getting signed and stuff. It's like when you first start out, it's like you really want to get signed because you're like, oh my God, like I want to whatever.
Money, yeah.
it's
Or most
validating
for
too.
me, it's
Yeah.
not even money. It's like I want more people to connect with my art, and more exposure equals more people equals more connection equals more like of this feeling of like sharing what I'm going through with other people and feeling like, oh my God, we're connecting, whatever. But as I've gotten like a little bit more of the hang of it, I'm like, I want to hold on to my independence
You
as an
need to.
artist as
Yeah.
long as I can, because like I don't want to lose my artistic integrity or like my like control over my sound and like my image just for exposure, because then that kind of defeats the purpose of exposure, because I'm like, I want to be seen and heard as like myself, and if I have to like sell myself to like be heard and seen, it's not worth it. So
No, totally. Well, there's like this one company for like podcasts and streamers that like does this basically where they sign streamers, and they came to me and Mir. It was like the guys who like run Mr. Beast and Aiden Ross
Mhm.
and I Show Speed and all those guys. And if we would have signed with them, we'd be having like 100 million views per show right now. But instead, you know, we said, you know, we kept our artistic integrity and we said we're just going to do it independent. And
I love
we've got
heroin addicts on our show, so I was like, no, I
yeah.
can't do it.
And now we're getting 10 people watching at a time. So
yeah, let's go.
yeah, but we're
But
independent.
respect,
So
like, yeah, you don't want to sell out just to like sell.
yeah, exactly.
But
So
it's interesting you guys say that though. But like Florida Jit, remember that rapper we had on?
yeah.
Like half a year ago. He's like what 17, 18 years old, and he collabed with Patty Mac. What was that dude's name? I forgot. The guy with all
Uh,
the acne on all over his face all the
Supreme
time.
Patty.
Supreme Patty.
Yeah.
You know who that is, right? Zaya?
No.
Yeah, you do. Come on, you know who Supreme Patty is.
She might have missed it. She might even be too young for Supreme
Damn,
Patty.
dude, you're too young for that. Yeah, she is probably too young for that. Fuck, dude, I'm old. I'm getting
He
old,
had,
bro.
he had a small little window of being big. He
Yeah.
was kind of like an early like
With
Mr.
long neck.
Beast. Yeah, he was like one of those guys who got popular doing Instagram
Retarded shit.
stunts online and then giving out money to homeless people and all that shit. But no,
So
but anyway, yeah. Go
yeah,
ahead,
but
Mir.
well, my thing is like with Florida Jit. I mean, he's like a 17-year-old Jewish kid, right? He knows what he's doing. And he was talking about how you have to be able to sell yourself to some extent to the algorithm to
Boo.
really make it. Honestly, if you want to make a living out of it and actually be successful to some extent, so you're not flipping burgers all your life, you got to be able to sell yourself to some extent.
Hmm.
So, what's your take on that? And he does like internet shit
Hmm.
every fucking day. He says he's always like promoting his shit, find the newest trends to kind of like feed into it and kind of like get in there so get his name out.
Yeah. I mean, I think the part of that I relate to and I feel like is correct is like you kind of have to be a content creator now to be an artist. Like there is like a kind of expectation that you're gonna not just have the music, but also have an identity as an artist that people can like relate to and like get behind. So like that part. Oh, was that about the guy you knew?
Yeah.
No, not I knew. We interviewed. I don't have any personal relations with him.
you
Right?
had to
Trust me.
He was like he was more of a comedic personality than an actual like artist, really. I guess he was rapping a little bit, but you know, it was all like joke rap and like about
comedy rap,
making TikToks and Instagrams and stuff, and wearing a grill and popping a boner on his streams and doing dumb shit like that. So but like you said, and like not to interrupt you with that, but yeah, the problem with that thinking of like, oh, like you always got to be serving the algorithm and you got to be one step ahead. Yeah, maybe, and that probably does work, but that is still just a dice roll too, because everything changes so fast. So like if you're always chasing whatever the next like, you know, move is going to be of like, oh, well, I want to be like hot in this algorithm on this new platform. I got to switch over to here and start doing it. That's just a grind, and that's like a whole thing in itself. And that probably takes up all your time focusing on that of like, TikTok's, no one's going to be using TikTok in a year. So I'm going to find the next one and I'm going to start doing this and that and that. And you can't really predict the new stuff that well, I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, trends are completely like unpredictable. All you can do is like basically just try to make whatever like basically try to mold your art to better like fit the model of like a trend, which is like what I was saying before, like writing to the algorithm. So like having a song like have that one line that's like really like repetitive or whatever, it's like easy for people to relate to or remember.
Like
and then
bands
just
to
like,
make a dance. Bands to make
sure. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's definitely tough too, because like I want to make music that's like fun and vibey that you can like hear in the club, but also like kind of put you in your bag. So like I'm still trying to figure out, like I might have a house moment. I love house. Like I love
You love house music?
Yes,
That's tough. I love house music too. It's tough.
DJ. I did my first DJ set at my release party. Get ready for DJ Zaya. But yeah.
DJ Zaya, I love it.
I love house. So like that might be what's next for me. Who knows?
Has your friend that's next to you was at your house party?
No, she wasn't, because we don't go to the same school anymore, which is like devastating. So she was in finals week. Yeah.
Has she listened to your house music yet or no?
She's actually heard my house music before anybody, because it's not like out.
Can we get her honest take then on the show?
Oh my god, yeah, come over here. Yeah. Yeah.
Hi.
Yo.
Wait, scooch.
I'm scooching. Hi guys.
Yo, what up?
Yo, what's good?
I'm pretty good. I'm a huge proponent of Zaya going house. I think that it is such a great outlet for her. I don't know. It's like I don't know, it works with her lyrics and stuff. It's pretty epic.
No doubt. I mean, well, here's the thing. I'm thinking now. It's like with I think you're focusing in the right area when you're talking about this live stuff, because now the AI stuff is like AI music and all that stuff's like becoming early stages and hey, no, you gotta
bring her back. We're talking to her right now.
I think they want you here.
We're talking to her. Yeah, tell her to get a chair or something.
Yeah.
Wait, this is
She
better.
has like another chair in here, but
we've
it
lost
went
it.
missing. I don't know where it went.
Grab a lawn chair or something. Yeah, go ahead though.
We're not on chair.
But I'm just saying, like, so as this like AI music and like stuff becomes better and more popular or whatever, you know, as people start messing, like nerds who don't even know anything about music just start programming music, I think that stuff will work more with like social media algorithm, and then people will eventually want to go to like a live live music type.
What are you guys doing right now? We're doing a show and you guys are
I got so
tickling each
bored,
other.
she's-
Laugh. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I've been
come
kicked off.
Mir, you run it. I'm
No,
pontificating
no,
I'm sorry.
no,
No,
over
no.
here.
That's actually a really good point
Yeah, go
about AI because it's fucked up. They're gonna take over, and it's scary because like, art I feel like is what makes us human. Like, and if art can be created by AI, then shit, we're fucked. But
That Drake song was tough.
yeah, I know. That's what's like scary that they can like be like, yo, AI, like make a song that like sounds like Zaya made it. Like that's so scary. Like I don't even know what to think of that, honestly. But I feel like as long as there's like feeling. And I don't even know because like you could be like, oh, like AI can generate feeling based on everyone that's felt before. If you think about it, that's what we all do. Like we all feel feelings that have been felt before. So it's like, how do you even differentiate like art from AI at a
I
certain
don't think you can at some point. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. It's scary.
But I think it'll eventually, like there's always something different than headphones versus like being at a live, a cappella, whatever, like unplugged set, like
Yep.
even a regular just concert with like the big speakers and electric guitars and all that. The vibe of like being in a live place is always going to be different than just listening to something on your headphones. And there's certain music where it's like you only want to listen to it on you have no desire to go ever see the person live. And then there's other stuff where it's like you don't really like listen to it, but when you go to the show, it's like the best show of all time. So it's like there is differences in it too. So you just kind of got to figure out what's your thing, and if your passion and your energy and everything works in that, then people will resonate.
I'm really interested in how you and your friend met. Are you guys been like roommates? Or are you guys best friends? Like, what's that?
He wanted to come back. No, she just made me laugh because so Brandon and I, this is actually, come over here. This is crazy.
Coming in and out's a lot for me.
No, you got it. Okay, so Brandon and I, we met like actually as I was deciding to apply out of Bates. That's when I met her, and I was like, damn, because she single-handedly like would have been enough for me to stay at that school because like we just like have just this incredible friendship where I feel like it's the first time really I'm like feel so reciprocated, like the love and the energy and like the just like investment that she has for me I have for her, and like everything she does, like I'm her number one fan, she's mine, and it's just like so amazing.
She's an OG.
Yeah, for real. And
go ahead.
No, so we now have like a long distance friendship. Like we joke that we're dating because we have this app called I'm plugging it. We have this
Mine's
this
cuter. I can't do that one.
We have this app called Lock It. And you can see, so basically
that's you guys.
Yes, sir. Basically, here you can see.
You're constantly live with each other.
So like once a day, you send a selfie. Here, show him yours.
Yeah, I don't even know what this is. I know Snapchat, but
no, it's not like
like
that. So it's like on her
screen.
home screen. Can you see it there?
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
So basically, like once a day, we like get a selfie of what the other person is doing.
I love that. You guys just like keep in contact,
like checking in.
Yeah. So we have a rule, like we have to see each other every 3 months, otherwise we go like insane.
Yeah.
Right. No boys, just I'm fucking around.
No, but anyways, so yeah, it's been like 4 months.
It's been way too long.
No, hang on. I want to hear from her, the beautiful blonde right here to your right.
Oh.
Thank you. So what was it like meeting Zaya for the first time? Did you hear her music first that drew you to her? How did you meet her? And like tell me your experience first meeting her.
Okay, it's actually really cute and funny. So
I remember here.
We have a mutual friend named Alex who
shout out
shout out Alex. who I was really good friends with at Bates. And I was just at a party and I didn't like the party. And I texted her and she was like, oh, come over to my dorm. And she was neighbors with Zaya. And so I come over and I hear a lot of noise. I hear like Alex's voice from Zaya's room. And I was a little high. And I just walked straight into her room without anything. I was like drawn in. And they were doing like a seance with candles.
Nice. Very nice.
We were manifesting.
No, they were like
manifesting. Yeah. Yeah.
And
I've heard about that in the music industry. They're always doing those like goat sacrifices and stuff.
yeah, so I just walked right into her life.
Into the cult.
Yeah, and she was playing like Hope Tala and I was fucking with it. Like the playlist was good and then we were inseparable.
No shit. Isn't that crazy how like the world and like the energy just draws people, you know what I'm saying? Like you guys just meshed instantly, right? Like you could have just kept on walking or just stayed in that room, but something drew you to that room.
Yeah.
Now you guys are inseparable, right? From here on out.
Yeah.
So having this long distance relationship, like, has it affected you two at all to some extent where you guys are like, oh damn, you know, I kind of like it's harder to communicate with each other, or you guys, this is pretty easy. You guys are kind of like, you know, because with some females I've noticed you guys aren't really like not honest, but you're not really straightforward with other individuals or whatnot. So my thing is with you two, are you guys pretty straightforward with each other? If you're, I don't like this, I like this with your relationship, you know what I'm saying?
I feel like we're both very much like people pleasers in our friendships. And so like we both like will find ourselves kind of doing that. Like today, even we were getting coffee and the girl was like, oh, like, do you want it to go or like to stay? And we're like, what do you want to do?
And you guys sat there for 10 minutes
to make the other person happy. So like, I feel like we kind of have to like check in with each other sometimes to make sure like the other person's not like doing something because they want the other person to be happy.
Right. You want like an honest, you know, thing with each other. You know, just not to please each other. Yeah. What's the craziest shit you two got into? Let me hear this shit.
No.
Can we mute for a second?
You guys need to be muted for a second. We'll mute you if you need to be muted.
I don't know. What have we done?
No.
What did you think of?
I thought of that time when we went to Parkville and literally it was just
that's funny, but that's not that crazy. It's so silly. Yeah.
I don't know.
Let me hear that story. I want to hear that story. What was that story you guys heard?
It's silly. It's very basic.
Yeah. So our school had like one place you could party. It was the lacrosse house basement, Bardwell. And basically, even if you were like a hot girl, like at a certain point when it capped, and you just couldn't get in because there was just like, that's where the entire school was. So like, that's where pretty privilege did not work. Like they would be like, oh, like, I'm sorry, it's just full. And then if you couldn't get in, like you didn't have anything to do. So one time we were like, let's go. Cause the weekend before, I think we hadn't gone or whatever. So we went early.
Yeah, we went early.
And we get downstairs and there's all these dads. And we're like, what the fuck?
It was so
good
weird.
men watching over their daughters.
Well, it was all guys.
It was all
we
guys.
We were the only girls.
Yeah. And I guess it was like the, like, whatever you call it, Oasis.
Family.
Like, yeah. So I don't even know what it's called.
We were confused.
Yeah. So there's just like all these dads and they start chatting us up and we're like so high. And so we're like, what is going on? Like, where are we?
In this basement in Maine with a bunch of fathers. It was a weird vibe.
Yeah, that was probably like a really weird moment for us.
Definitely not the craziest,
not the
but
craziest,
weird.
But it just always comes to mind.
It does.
Because it's a weird one.
Chow, you got any questions for these two lovely ladies about their friendship at all? What they've gone through?
No, so you well, not
no.
I don't know. I guess debates or so. You're still going to debates?
No, I transferred to Tulane for architecture.
Okay. Oh, nice. Okay, so you're down in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been down there. I had a buddy who went there, and I was down in New Orleans. I'd partied at one of the campus bars there back in the day. It's
oh my
it's
god,
a wild time. Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Whoa.
I would bet
Yeah.
money.
yeah. So yeah, I don't know, man. I don't really have any questions on their friendships. Maybe you
Yeah.
do, Mir, but
I got one more
guys-
for you.
oh,
Oh, go ahead.
okay,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. I was gonna say they got any questions for you, Mir, but
No, I don't know, but hang on. I'm the host here, so
Yeah,
let
yeah.
me ask you two lovely ladies something real quick.
Okay.
So, since I'm an old head and Chow's even older than I am, he's like a grandpa at this point. So
Yeah.
when you two go out to the bar, like how do you two like watch over each other with like dudes and shit who are like in their 20s? You know, they're hunting around looking for how you doing? My thing is, how do you two communicate with each other during that process? Like, what's that going like nowadays?
From my perspective, I've always felt very in tune with Zaya, so it's kind of like I know the look.
Yeah,
What's
there's a little look.
even better question? What's the creepiest dude you had to save Zaya from?
Oh, I don't know.
You're like, holy shit, this dude is weird. He's not getting the signs. He's
Um,
got to go.
I feel like we were dancing once at a club, and I
Was
don't
this
know.
New Year's?
Yeah, like
This
New
is the guy
Year's.
who did a pull up.
Oh, I forgot about him.
So we were in like where were we? Like a
Silo?
abandoned basement thing
Nice. Very romantic.
in like Williamsburg.
Yeah.
And some guy like came up to me and was like, do you think you can do a pull up? Because like there were like a bunch of like random
What?
like metal bars,
We're
and
on,
I
like,
was
a
like, oh, I
stage.
can do a pull up, and he was like, oh yeah, like do a pull up for me.
Yeah,
And
you
Gwen
go.
was like,
I was like, you're
Don't
not
do
doing
it.
a pull up.
and was like, no, and it was like a pride thing. I was like, I'm gonna do a pull up,
Mhm.
and I did a pull up.
Right. Then what do you say? He's like, oh
But
shit.
then, yeah, then he was like, and then she was like, let's go.
I was like, absolutely not.
It's not
Oh,
really
shit.
even a look with Bryn. It's just like a wrist grab, and then you're out of there. Like she just pulls you out of the situation.
Jeez.
Yeah, he probably didn't like it because he probably wanted to throw you in a hole, and if you could do a pull up, then you could get
Oh,
out
then
or
I could get
something.
out of the
yeah,
hole.
yeah. So he was
Too
testing you. or
strong.
something.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I gotta.
like,
Since we're talking about dudes, I want to show you guys. Mir, you mind if I show him that?
no,
the
do your thing, buddy. Do your
PSA?
thing, buddy. Yeah.
All right, yeah. So I want to get you guys this read on this because this is I'm pulling it up. This is a comedian that's in New York City that you might see out and about,
Oh yeah.
and this is a PSA that was made pertaining to this guy. So just watch it, and then it's only 2 minutes long, and then let us know your thoughts on this guy.
I think we should mute for our honest reactions. Oh no. Boo. I don't know.
Oh shit! Go back
Wait, I
on that
didn't
one.
hear
Go
it.
back on that, bro. Holy fuck!
Yeah, so it's this guy right here.
God. That's
Watch
him.
him. Yeah.
Yeah. Holy shit! What the fuck?
All right. So we'll watch it, and we'd like to get your reaction. So feel free. Just let me know if you want me to pause it.
God, okay.
Patrice figures that the best way to hear things through the great.
Oh my God! Stop touching her.
Yeah.
I asked, girl. Thank you for brushing your hair tonight.
Oh my God!
Oh wow. Mm.
Yo,
Boo.
Yeah.
it's like Joe Biden, bro, with kids.
Oh my God!
Oh my dude, what
It's
the
too
fuck am I
Very
watching?
inappropriate.
So yeah, he was like kind of
Boo.
reaching in and like touching her side area, you know.
Yeah, not cool.
Not cool at all.
Yeah.
Both skits and tits, and after you see her new comedy up here, you'll know what. Obviously, we're having a couple laughs. That's great.
She goes, mm-mm.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no. It
You
felt
won't
like
catch
a
us
lot.
at that comedy show.
No doubt, no doubt. We just wanted to give it to you as like a little PSA because, yeah, he's in this podcasting game, and actually, he's got a big beef with your buddy Tom Myers. He really disrespected Tom Myers. So
Oh, boo.
yeah, boo, exactly.
What
so,
do you guys do when that happens? Like, do you like stand up against it and like use your platform? Like, I mean,
we're doing it right now.
was gonna
That's
say.
what we're asking
Facts,
women
facts.
about, because usually we have men on, and they're like, oh, we don't want to get involved. But you as women, and you're younger, you guys have more of a voice than usually older people do when it comes to shit like this.
yeah.
So, like, as females, what's your guys' take on the debauchery that's going on with that guy?
Well, I don't know that guy, so.
But from that
Well,
video,
I mean, you don't need to know the guy to see him groping women and doing weird shit, though.
Oh,
yeah, completely unacceptable. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I don't like that shit, because like that surprised me. Like, we've had Ray on a few times, that gentleman, and he seems somewhat coherent to some extent.
Mhm.
He tries to play off as like, oh, I just didn't know, but I think he knew in that instance what was
I mean,
going
you
on.
can even tell by like her body language, like watching it, that she's uncomfortable. So like clearly, like, don't, and also just like don't fucking touch people. Like, don't touch women.
Yeah.
Like, just literally keep your hands to yourself.
I don't get that shit. Why do people do that weird shit when they start just like they try to like play it off as like some friendly go, ho. It's like, no, dude, you barely know them. Don't touch them. Like, they're not your girlfriend. What the fuck
Like,
are
you
you
can
doing?
think something's funny without touching someone's shoulder. Like,
Mhm.
imagine you did that every time you found something funny. Like, that's so dumb. Like, don't touch me. Yeah. No, I don't like that.
Mm-mm.
But I mean, like, in terms of, I know you're using your platform right now, but in terms of like doing a show with him, like, what if you were on like a bill together? Like, would you play that show? Would you like?
No, we
Okay.
would not. He's an idiot. He's a fool, and he is a disgrace to the community around us.
Mhm.
And Chow can actually dig deeper about that with you guys right now, if he decides to.
well, I was gonna maybe play the.
No,
the
go
one
ahead,
where
play
goes
it.
to-
Let them
gonna
see
find it.
this, because Tom Meyer, like, is a good friend of yours, right? Online friend,
Yeah, we're like,
and he was severely disrespected by this gentleman, and he accused Tom of many things that we don't agree with.
Well, this is a recent one that he did, but yeah. One sec. This is a recent one that was put up on him. That so you know how like people make like ghost account, or not ghost accounts. He calls them ghost accounts, but they're burner accounts
Mhm.
to stalk. So he's been doing that too.
I try to be a good person.
Ray, will you be getting laid in Detroit?
I don't know. I think Ari's coming to hang out. So
How the internet tries to get you with Ray.
Oh my God, that's just ridiculous. Honestly, it's absurd. I can't be more straightforward.
Jerry Jane is here, everybody! With Ray!
At the bar in Detroit at the WATP live show.
Ray came up to me at the bar during this like little fiasco before they left, and he pulled me to the side and he told me that he was done with her.
I blocked her on everything. I blocked her phone number. I blocked her on Twitter and everything.
Oh my God, he follows
Whatever. I have her
Chow.
blocked. I don't see anything she says.
Yeah.
I have her blocked on Twitter.
The first husband, his name was Nate. We were married for like 6 years. And then the second husband, Jay, well, his name was Jason, but he went by Jay.
So honest.
It's a lot.
Wait, guys, like, I can't read this fast. Like,
It's okay.
You're not
just,
supposed to
just
read
get
it.
the vibe.
Okay. Trying. That's a lot of people.
Here's the deal. If you get in a car accident in Pennsylvania, the state of Pennsylvania, because I had a lawyer for this, whatever happened, if you leave a major accident before the cops get there, that person's at fault. That's all I know. And the guy didn't stop, and the lawyer's like he's at fault. We got to find out who this guy is. It's the semi truck's fault. They can't leave after hitting you.
Are you understanding what's happening?
Wait, I feel like maybe.
Hang on, I gotta take a piss. Chow, you take over, all right, buddy?
Yeah, you guys. So that was the guy who he made that fake account to like stalk that woman.
Yeah.
But that's the same guy who was like touching those women before.
So he's just a creep.
Oh,
Yeah. So
Mhm.
that's fucked up.
So fucked up.
Damn.
yeah, I don't know. I didn't mean to go down that
Yeah,
rabbit
it got
hole.
dark. Damn.
Yeah. So what do you guys? What? So you're heading out to California? You said this summer or soon?
Yeah. On Sunday, I go.
Nice. And then are you going to be in New York City for the summer? Or are you gonna? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be home.
Nice. Big plans or chilling, working?
I'm trying to, you know how it be, just waiting to hear back from a bunch of internships. So we'll see. Fingers
Cool.
crossed that I get one. But yeah, I don't know. When let's get there. But yeah, I don't know. Mostly just if I don't get the internships, just like playing shows and get a job somewhere.
Yeah, it's funny because we have a live chat that's going on. When we started playing those videos, everyone who like watches our shows knows that guy. So it's like an inside thing, you know? And they love seeing your reactions to it because like the whole chat's now talking about him.
Because you
Like,
never get girls on here. We're like, oh my God. Yeah, that's fucked up.
yeah, so they all know him because he actually streams every day. Every night he goes live and just freaks out and does all this wild shit. So a lot of the same people who watch our show watch it theirs. And he actually came on our show like a couple months ago. And another thing that's he's under investigation for is he faked this like car accident and raised all this money on GoFundMe.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ray. So we called him out on it on our show, and then it opened up this like whole investigation. There's like this documentary being made about it. So yeah.
Oh my gosh, are you guys getting interviewed?
Oh yeah, all the time. All
Oh,
the
that's
time.
incredible.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like it's a wild thing we got thrown in the middle of here, but
Yeah.
yeah, so that's been kind of like the latest in our world. But we try to like interview mainly, so I break it down when I like propose getting people on. I try to get I say like we interview streamers, entertainers, and comedians basically, because that's kind of like the buckets that we usually have. But I think you might be, you're probably, a lot of our musician people are like younger because they're like people Mir knows, but a lot of the comedians are like older, like in that like his age, like 40s to 50s age. So it's cool, you know. We just started doing this show as like for fun, like as a passion type thing, and then
Fire.
we've had a bunch of cool people on over the, you know, we've had a UFC fighter was one of our most recent ones. We've had a bunch of people from Howard Stern's show. So yeah.
So my thing is, you see the violence, you see the debauchery, you see the unwantingness of being touched, and then you go into music, and you also see and you explain this great, Zaya, that women are a very minority in music that you're working with. How do you kind of like stop this weird masculine like desire to kind of like like when women join into the scene, they try to make them uncomfortable. Like, not even, you could say sexually, but you could also say like they just don't want women there. Like, how do you combat that? And how do you get more women involved in the scene? Because like Ray scared off multitude of female comedians to, they're like not grooming. Someone comments saying grooming. It's not grooming. This is something different. And I kind of know this because I've been in music and I've seen it happen to a multitude of female artists. Like they become victim and or they're not hunted, but they're I would say, gosh, I don't want to be like derogatory here, but they're like singled out by the male populace who run these industries. It's kind of disturbing to me.
Yeah, I think a lot of it, like the making women uncomfortable, like is not even explicitly like sexual. A lot of the time it's like kind of mansplaining or like kind of like talking down to us like we don't know or like that like they know better. And a lot of that just kind of stems from like a lack of women leaders in these spaces. And that has nothing to do with like our capabilities and everything to do with the fact that just like men have those leadership roles right now. So that's not really going to change until women, take power and start taking charge in those roles. And that's just going to like take time. I think women are definitely discouraged to take on those roles because they don't have like women role models telling them like, hey, like this is a possibility for you. Like that could be you. Like,
right.
So I think the way to combat that is like having like female mentorships where you have like programs where you have like upcoming artists working with other artists who are kind of more established and like getting to ask other women like your questions about the industry and like how to like figure out like obstacles and how to deal with that like awful behavior from men. And I think like the more that women feel secure within the music community of like other women, the more that like they can band together and like we can like kind of like overcome that. But I think a really big part of that is that women don't support each other.
They don't.
So you have women tearing each other down.
Why is that? Honestly, can you answer that for me?
I think that it's a combination of insecurity and jealousy. And I think that if you like for me, like if I see another girl like absolutely killing it, I'm like, okay, how can I like what do I like about what she's doing? How can I like better embody that rather than like hating, like what can I do to learn from her? So like I think that's the difference. Like instead of like taking that extra step of being like, hey, how did you do that? Like how did you get here? Like let's collab. It's more of like it's me or her kind of situation where it's like
right, because they want to be the only female kind of killing it.
Yeah. And I don't know, I think that's just going to change as more females like get, I don't know, more exposure and like bigger roles. But I think, yeah, I don't know. It's shitty because like I've definitely experienced that where like I've had a mentor of mine just like not support me and like kind of just go ghost when she got signed. And it was like, okay, like that sucks, like I want to be able to like work with other artists, like female or not, and just have them like support me the way that I support them. And like, I don't know. I just think it's important to like stick together, especially with like so much shit going on.
So I think there's some of it that's the nature of power in itself. I think men and women. So I think there are some powerful women. I think there's probably more powerful men. And I think it's the nature of the industry where competition is very fierce.
Mhm.
So I'm sure there's some very powerful women, but they probably reached that height of power by being very cutthroat and very man-like, in the way they did business to get. So I think part of it is like, I get what you're saying, and it's like, yeah, like collaboration but when it's like something like this where it's like you're not producing a product where it's like you're manufacturing tires or something, and the more you guys work together, the more you make, the more you can sell, or like working in a restaurant where it's like everyone's working together to do something. It's like the music thing's all about like placing, you know, it's all fighting over eyeballs basically, and attention or ears and stuff like that. So it's like a different thing, you know? So I think, yeah, it's just it's a weird, you know, like thing when you're selling that industry in itself, you know, it's not like a normal business.
I mean, I don't think it should be really treated differently. I think that's kind of the issue because, like, when you look at, I mean, I can't really speak about other art forms, but I know that just generally, like, the way that people view collaboration in the industry, like, could definitely be, like, better than it is. Like, I think right now, you kind of only hear about collaboration when, like, a label has generated that, like, based on, like, "Oh, you guys both have, like, a big fan base and you guys have some overlap. So, like, let's just you guys make a song together, you throw a feature on there, call it a day."
Make us some money.
Yeah, like, you see features that are, like, big names where you're like, "Oh, like, this person's featured, like, this project must be fire." And it's like, that's the only time you see collaboration really happening. Like, it's at least on the, like, high level of, like, music production. And then when you have, like, kind of the underground people, we're all collaborating all the time because we know that it's also kind of like going back to, like, the earlier discussion, like, there's not really anything to lose when you're starting out. It's like you don't need to have, like, one specific sound that you need to, like, make sure you, like, whatever. Like, you can collaborate with whoever the fuck you want, and you honestly should because it's more exposure, it's more experience, and it's fun. So, like, I think as you get as people get more exposure, it's almost as if, like, they lose that willingness to collab because of, like, some kind of, like, fear of, like, oh, like, what if, like, this person's sound is, like, not for me anymore? Like, what if people stop listening to me because I collab with so and so? It's like,
Right.
so instead it's like, I'm gonna tear this person down. I'm gonna take a stance on this artist and say they suck so that I lift myself up. That's where it comes in. And it's like, why are we doing that?
Well, that's interesting because, you know, yeah, he had he's been doing a lot of features and he's been getting all different types of people, but he actually couldn't get to he had on a what was supposed to be his new album. I think he had Ice Spice and someone else doing that new body track that Nicki Minaj had done.
Oh, I fucking love that song.
Yeah, and but then that's like the industry part. They had contracts, and he couldn't get it cleared through like her label or something because of what Kanye had said or something. So I think there's some of that too, where it's like maybe people are willing to like just do it, and then there's boundaries, and then maybe people are put together who don't want to. So yeah, I don't know. It's part of like that.
I think that's definitely part of it too, right? Like the labels. I mean, even like artists have like albums and EPs that they're sitting on and they can't release because their labels are like, you can't release it yet.
Right.
Like, so it's definitely that as well, where people are probably like labels are probably like, you can't collaborate with this person because it's different than your sound. And like you get really like boxed into like your like niche or whatever. So you can't break out of it. So I think it's probably also like an institutional thing where it's like really strict, and like once you get up to that professional level, like you just like stop having the ability to like work with who you want to work with, and that's so shitty.
But it's interesting because it's a weird business in a sense, because all businesses, the idea of a business is you want to make money, right? And you're selling something. So I guess in the music business, it used to be you're selling albums or tickets to your live show. And while live shows are still popular and albums, I guess, are, but now it's the streaming market. So it's like, what are you worth as a musician? What's your song worth? And I guess it's valued in clicks, which clicks equal fractions of pennies or something like that. So there are metrics, like numbers behind it. But at the same time, it's like, it's like you kind of trust what the computer says or what the social media says or whatever. Like, it's hard to be like, I'm worth this, because you can't really be like, well, I'm worth this when you're getting into it. And even when you get big, it's kind of like, well, I'm only worth this if I'm allowed to work at the Staples Center or something, you know, like, I don't know. It's like, it's a weird business, not like hey, I manufactured this car for 30,000, I'm selling it for 50,000, I'm making 20,000 profit. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
not simple.
I think part of that too is that like you can get 30,000 streams and not be able to pay your rent because you don't make enough money.
Right.
So it's not even just about exposure, it's about the platforms and the fact that they don't compensate artists for their
No,
music.
Spotify doesn't. A lot.
And
SoundCloud
they don't
doesn't.
help
They
us.
don't. None of them
There's
do.
this thing, I mean, you probably know about this, Spotify for artists.
Yeah, I know.
And so basically, like, what they do is for upcoming artists, they have like resources for us, and they're like, okay, you want to get placed on an
Resources for
editorial
us.
playlist? They're like, oh, you want to get placed on this editorial playlist? Like, here are
Yeah.
the steps that you take. You pitch
Yeah.
you pitch your song to the playlist. You upload your lyrics and your canvases. That's like the little visual that you get on the Spotify.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah. But basically what's fucked up about that is like for me, I did everything right for this release, right? Like I uploaded my lyrics, I uploaded my canvases, I pitched my playlist. I not only didn't get placed on the playlist, they didn't upload my fucking lyrics. Like
Right.
they just didn't do it. And it's like, it's just so frustrating because they
Za-
don't help us. Like they
Was-
don't.
Have you tried reaching out to third party Spotify
Yeah, I
playlists? Or
have,
out
and
there?
it's
But they charge you
really-
though. They charge you for placement though.
Oh,
Don't they?
no, I mean, not through Spotify. But
They
like,
don't?
no, for editorial playlists, you like
No,
basically.
no, not editorial. I'm talking about third party playlists that are run by single individuals who have created a following of like hundreds of thousands of people that listen to their Spotify playlist. So they'll put artists on their thing that artists will hit them up to get exposure from because there's so many people listening to those playlists.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is like I'd rather pay on the like production and like content side. Like I'd rather like pay to make like a fire music video and promote the shit out of it than like pay somebody to put my song on their playlist. Like I don't know. That's just a
You
personal
never looked into that at all?
I mean, I have like I've like sent like, yo, can you like, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I'm not gonna pay for that. Like I think it's dumb. I'm just kind of like if I want people to genuinely fuck with my music. So like I don't want to pay for streams. I will never do that. You will not catch me paying for bots. Like and a lot of those things are scams is the other thing. Like a lot of it is scam. So like I just stick to like okay, word of mouth and like friends of friends and I'll get there. Like I'm not worried about it. I don't know. I'd rather spend money on like how can I make my music sound the best and how can I make my visuals look the cleanest? That's all I'm worried about.
I think that's good. I mean, of course, like some of that other stuff, like that sheer tech nerd internet marketing type stuff, some of it works. A lot of it's scams, like you said, especially like when you get into like buying certain views and stuff like that. It's like
not worth
ultimately it just works for your ego because it's like it's all just like people in like Bangladesh who are watching it and then it screws up your algo for everything else, you know. So
yeah, totally.
What was the not really part you just said? Because you kind of disagreed right there. You said not really. Was that something else or what was that? Did I miss it?
No. I said totally.
Oh,
I think she
totally
was agreeing.
flawed. Okay.
No,
I think
I
said not really. I was like, damn. All right.
No. I agreed.
Okay.
I think I don't know. I'm just pissed because I'm like I was actually gonna like post this thing, but I don't think I'm gonna do it. But I'll just say it here. Basically, like when I played my show, like my friends and my friends of friends even like knew the words to my song and like we got a video of it and I want to just post it and be like when Spotify doesn't upload your lyrics but your fans already know them.
Nice,
I love that.
Yeah.
Just like
Have you
at
tried SoundCloud more?
well SoundCloud kind of fell off in terms of like people stopped listening on SoundCloud.
That's
like
mainstream though.
yeah, I mean, I know that like now it's kind of coming back, especially as like I'm getting more into like remixes for like DJing. So
Yes.
I'm on SoundCloud. I got my stuff on there.
What's your take on SoundCloud?
I think SoundCloud is so fucking cool. I think that like music is like
More
like
appreciated
I've said,
in my opinion.
20,000 times on here, but like
Yeah.
collaboration is the future of music and I think like samples should be more easily accessible. Some of the best music is remixes that can't be cleared.
Yeah.
And it's all on SoundCloud. And I think SoundCloud is incredible for that. You got like remixes, like forbidden remixes, like where you have like 2 songs that like should not make sense.
But they're mashed up.
Yeah, like stuff like
Yeah, they're
that.
mashes. Yeah, I love
So
that.
creative and cool. And like I feel like I want to be able to just like listen on there all the time, but like I don't
Right.
pay for it, so I get ads.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, my other favorite thing about SoundCloud is that SoundCloud is more, I would say, fan friendly, where they can comment on your song. They can comment on certain aspects of your song where they like really where you're hitting something perfectly. You know what I'm saying? Like it's more
there's
user
definitely more
friendly.
engagement there.
Yes,
Yeah.
and they can hit you up, they can email you, or they can message you on SoundCloud, and I think that's more personal.
It's definitely more like accessible and like easier to like collaborate on there. So I do like that about it. Yeah.
Man, Mir, I don't know. You got anything else, or should we?
No, I got one more thing for her, and
Okay.
then we can end it right here because we
Yeah,
don't
we
want to
can
keep
save
you
some stuff for part 2. I don't know if there's any music you want to play of yours.
Yeah,
We
look,
can
I
put it on the
want
screen.
to watch a music video about 3 a.m. or where the fuck.
Oh my God, watch
I
it.
watched your DJ not DJ Mustard, but I watched your Mustard. I read your Mustard interview. You said you guys were talking about some music video. Where you're like, oh my God, like if you have anything to say about the song, just watch the music video. And I want to watch one of your most recent music videos about R&B. But Mike, real quick before we play any, you're not going to copyright strike us, correct?
What does that mean? I'm gonna
Perfect. She doesn't know. So let's continue on. Then. So I just want to make sure you're not going to have like be like, oh, like hey, they strike us for playing your shit.
No, exposure's exposure. Like put me on. Let the people hear me.
All right, love it. All right, Chow, go ahead, buddy.
You want to play it up? Awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the 3 a.m. by Zaya Marz, and we'll check this out, and we'll do a little sign off after too. But
Yeah. I already feel sad.
I think we're alone tonight, on top of the world tonight. No, I can't read the signs. I know my mind won't go quiet. Where did the time go? Now the world is asleep, but I'm the one dreaming. I'm the one dreaming. Such great heights and feelings too, spinning out my heart on top this roof with you, and the echo still hangs, and loving stays my words when I say you feel like the AM on the balcony. Unfamiliar views and unfamiliar feelings too. You feel like 3 a.m. on the balcony. That's why the hours melting in your arms for hours. I could. I think that our souls align. Somewhere our dreams collide. Our promises intertwine. The sun comes up through the skyline, swimming on rooftops. When I dive in your eyes, I go over the deep end. Such great heights and feelings too, spinning out my heart on top this roof with you, and the echo still hangs, and the love in me stays my words when I say you feel like the air on the balcony. Unfamiliar views and unfamiliar feelings too. You feel like the air on the balcony. matter what the hours, melting in your arms for hours. I could set me aside, that this is right. I don't know. I don't know.
I love that. That's beautiful. Oh, that's tough. Oh shit! Yo, that's tough.
You feel like 3 a.m. on the balcony, matter what the hours, melting in your arms for hours. I could. You feel like 3 a.m. on the balcony, unfamiliar views and unfamiliar feelings too. You feel like 3 a.m. on the balcony, matter what the hours, melting in your arms for hours.
So real quick, Zaya, before we sign off, do you have any R&B songs from your latest EP that you would recommend for us to play real quick before we hang out?
Yeah, if you play Through Your Eyes, that one's getting a music video. It's gonna come out in like 2 weeks, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And then
any ones we can watch right now to show the fans your R&B sound from the other kind of like
the video's
ambient.
not out yet, but if
No, like anything in general from that EP that you have out yet.
Oh yeah, play Through Your Eyes.
Okay, yeah, just
All right, one sec.
that. Damn, girl, that was tough, bro. That fucking like melodic piano you had going
Beautiful.
on, and you like came back with that dude. That was tough. That was tough.
Now, is this it?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet.
Oh, I love that guitar.
Getting my buzzer for 42. Feeling like at this bubble, I'm pushing this fighting back. Swimming, scared of losing it all, even more than wanting to feel it. Got more reasons to feel than love. Somebody who cares for me, somebody who shows up for us, then somebody who changes me. Somebody I let go of the past for so I could feel it. I'ma keep it all the time, but I only feel it. I am gonna see myself through your eyes, through your catching feelings, keep quiet, I'm scared to admit it. It's like the moment I'm happy, I tell you I changed it. Scared of wanting too much, so I asked you to begin with. Got more reasons to feel than love. Somebody who cares for me, somebody who shows up for us, and somebody who changes me. Somebody I let go of the past for so I could feel it. I'ma keep it all the time, but I only feel it. I am gonna see myself through your eyes, through your
Yeah, bro, you're tough.
Oh,
You're tough. Hey, real quick, bring your friend back in here. Bring your friend. Oh no. Yeah, bring her back in here.
Oh, new fan.
I can't see myself like you do. Nobody like
Yo.
I can't see myself separate. Nobody make do.
I love it. So I got a quick question. Hang on. I got another question. Sorry, ladies. I don't mean to hold you, Zaya. I'm sure you got photo shoots, music videos to do. You know, I don't want to hold you more than your
We're just
time
going to
is.
get sushi.
No, you're a good girlfriend. But my thing is this though. What's your friend's name right here? To the right of you? Bren? Bren. So you've heard Zaya's music. I know you love it. I can already tell by the way you vibe with it. You're an OG fan. And your OG friend. OG fan, OG friend. So Zaya ain't gonna forget you when she's got you VIP passes, all that shit.
You better not.
You better not. Yeah, damn straight. But my thing is, what song that she's created that really resonate with you that we could play real quick? Like really hit you individually as a person. You're like, holy fuck, I love this song. Because I've had that with my friends when I've created songs. They're like, dude, this song really hits me emotionally hard. What song really, as a friend, hits you hard from her?
Hits you hard.
Ooh, okay. The one I thought of immediately was called A Good Thing Great.
Oh shit, yeah. Can you play that, Chow, real quick?
Yeah,
A
play
good
that
thing,
one.
great. All right, so this is how your friend perceives your music and what hits her hard, and I love it.
Interesting take, Bryn.
I love that one.
What's your favorite?
It's called A Good
Thing. This one resonates with me.
Oh, okay. What's your favorite?
They didn't ask me what my favorite was.
What hits her the hardest?
Okay, all right.
This one hits. Or Ego Death. Those are the two.
Ego Death is new.
Maybe you play. Do you want that one?
No, don't ask her as a pleaser what she wants to listen to.
Yeah, facts. All right.
Maybe we can.
Great.
Yeah, play the first one. Yeah.
Get crazy.
This one, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I think of February. I think of you. Memories start flooding in. Only now your words sink me this time last year. This isn't love. Smoke and mirrors dissipate, lying on the fire escape. Call a good thing great.
Oh my God, it's tough.
I couldn't wait. Now I'm as lonely as I was with you. Call a good thing great. I rushed into love. I couldn't wait. Now I'm as lonely as I was with you. Fuck your angel numbers and fuck your own time, right girl number. Time waits for no one, so why would I? Maybe I hope that you would choose me. Didn't wanna keep on and lose me.
Damn, right?
Couldn't make up your mind. I made up mine. I called a good thing great. I called a good thing great. It's time to let you go now. It's time to let you go. I called a good thing great. I called a good thing great. It's time to let you go now. It's time to let you go. I called a good thing great. I called a good thing great. It's time to let you go now. It's time to let you go. Called a good thing great. I rushed into love. I couldn't wait.
Yo!
As lonely as I was with you. Let you go.
I love it, guys. You guys were
Incredible
awesome
stuff.
for real. You guys were amazing. We really loved having you guys on. You guys, do you guys want to plug anything? Either of you, your Instagrams, TikToks, whatever you guys want.
Oh my God, could we? All right. Where do I write it? How do I?
No,
do
just say it. Just say it.
Oh,
Everyone's listening
If you
right
say
now.
it, I can put it up.
On all streaming platforms, on Instagram, on TikTok. Yeah, if you could stream the new EP, that would be incredible. Send it to everyone you know.
What's the new EP called?
It's called Ego Death.
Someone did acid.
Yeah,
There we go.
There you go.
And stay tuned for a Through Your Eyes music video coming very soon.
Cool.
And thanks for having us, guys.
Yes, you guys are
Appreciate it.
brilliant.
Yeah. No, I really enjoyed the music. It was
Yeah.
very, very good. I love the production, the vocals, everything was amazing. So thanks for coming on. Maybe we'll do it again when you got something else to talk about. It was cool first time, getting you on and not knowing a lot about you.
Yeah, it was awesome.
You got fans in us now, so
yeah.
No, I love your guys'
all the
music.
best. Yeah, all the best to the future.
Remember us when you guys were famous, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
You ladies be safe, all right?
Yeah, enjoy your evening.
Bye.
Bye bye.
There you go.
I loved it, Chow. As always, buddy. Till next
Good
time.
to see you again, bro. Yeah,
Yeah. It's been a minute, man. It's been 3 weeks. But everybody, thank you for watching. Enjoy the show, and Chow.
Till next time.
Till next time.
Peace.